Hey, good morning, good morning. We're getting set up here. We're about to get started, excited about what we're going to do today, excited about my expert. As you can see, she is already here. Good morning, good morning. Go ahead and share this. Go ahead and share this. Just one moment, I'm connecting over here, making sure I see it. Just one moment, I'm connecting over here, making sure I see it. All right. We're about to get started. Welcome. Let's see. I was trying to share it with you. Trying something new, doing some different stuff. So I hope you guys are tuning in, tapping in, and getting ready to share that button because we're about to get this video underway. All right, let me know if you can see it. Thank you for, yes, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you can see me. Tiffany, can you see yourself? Is everything clear on your side?
Yes, everything is clear.
Welcome to Self-Care Saturday. You know why? Because it is about you. I'm Shawanna, your self-care strategist, and you already know that I definitely, what?
Cheer for you.
That's right. I cheer for you. And just in case you were wondering, what is pom-pom? Pom-pom is power over mindset, power over me. That's because when we understand the importance and the power of our mind, we can accomplish so many more things. And today, we thought it fitting at the very beginning of this new season that we address something that has and is very, very, very important and heavy for a lot of people, whether they speak it or not. Good morning. You can't hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me before I get started. Let's see. Just give me a comment in the chat and let me know you can hear me. Okay, very good. I don't want you to miss this amazing introduction from our expert today. Today, I am overjoyed and happy, hippopotamus happy to have with me today First Lady Tiffany Anisette Pringle. She is a proud wife and mother. She also is a business owner. She is the creator of her own bag. That's right. You're going to learn more about that too, because I am even with anxiety, because there has to be some anxiety even when she was doing that project, right? You need to know that we're dealing with the person and the young lady here who wear many hats and understand the importance of having multiple streams of income. This is somebody that you definitely need to get to know. She's a wife, a mother, and she's a corporate trainer. She does a whole lot. So you actually need to even go over it and even follow her now. Tiffany Anisette Pringle brings with her over 20 years of expertise in coaching, leading marketing teams, leading management teams, and she probably have taught even some of you. I'm just excited that she paused for the cause in her busy day because she's actually in the sunny state of Florida right now, streaming with me. So I'm excited that she paused and came from under that palm tree to be with us this morning. So welcome, Tiffany. Welcome.
Thank you. I am excited to be here and looking forward to the conversation that we have scheduled for this morning. Yes, I am in sunny Florida, but it is chilly outside. So I probably have some of that weather from Atlanta with me.
Right.
So yes, I am a woman of many hats. And as Shawanna stated, women in leadership, we wear many hats. And I do believe in multiple streams of income. And this is because I love entrepreneurship. I love starting businesses, growing businesses. And when you love what you do, it's not work.
That actually is so true, because I say all the time, oftentimes I say we get to do this, we get to be here.
Yeah.
Do not take it for granted. I definitely am a woman who understands the importance, and that's part of my secret sauce, is operating from a space of grace and gratitude, even for being present in the moment and understanding what that really means, because it does. It shows up every day, and it shows up in everything that you do. Uh, if you don't already know, again, we are talking about you don't have to suffer in silence. And today it's about anxiety. Is that something? Because she definitely wants you guys to not only tune in, but get your questions ready. Matter of fact, start even putting your questions in the comments right now as it relates to anxiety, because for so many people, it really happens to them and they don't even really know how to put it. They don't even know what name to put on it. They just know that they're feeling some type of way, whether it's physical, because there's even different types of anxiety. You don't even think about it like that, right? Right? Am I right? There's even different. Did you guys know that there's different types of anxiety? What I know, just in some of the things that probably I've experienced and didn't even realize, no, it could be social, it could be behavioral. There's a lot of areas of anxiety that we could experience, even experiencing now, not to mention the way of the world, right? Not to mention what's going on in the world. And we need to just now having Lady Tiffany with us today to be our expert on this subject matter, to just even talk about it. Give us a clear definition of even what is anxiety, Tiffany?
So, the simplest form of a definition that I could provide is anxiety is just a normal response to stress. Now, what happens is that normal response to stress can become greater than you can imagine, and it turns into other types of disorders. So, many of you may have heard of panic attacks, or you may say, I have an anxiety disorder, or there is a reason why it becomes a disorder, because it is above the norm. We all have stress. We all are inundated with so many things coming at us at one time, and we're trying to juggle it all and be superwoman because we're in leadership, or just because we're a woman that wear many hats. And an interesting fact is women are more than twice as likely as men to get an anxiety disorder in their lifetime.
Did you guys hear that? We cannot see past that. Women are
Yes.
more so likely than a
Yes.
man, because we know that we actually definitely process stuff different than they do. So continue. I just didn't want us to I need them to understand, because we're talking about women in leadership, even though some guys may be jumping on. We welcome you to be a part of this conversation, whether you even possibly have a wife, a sister. This information still can be very important to you to even assist them during these times.
And sometimes you don't even know you have it. You don't know it exists. There's not a label that you've attached to it, but it is an experience that you've had. And I want to share with you later on, as we get into this session, a personal experience that I had, where I didn't know that's what I was experiencing until I was able to seek out help and share my symptoms and the signs that I was experiencing. Then there was a label attached. And then that took me back to my childhood. So this can start as early as being in grade school. The child that is afraid to raise their hand to the teacher and ask a question. There is a sense of fear. There's a sense of anxiety. Oh, everybody's looking at me. What are they going to think about me? And your mind is going through this battle of, should I ask the question I really want to know? But then everybody's going to think, well, why did you ask that question? And you start questioning yourself as to whether or not you're going to be bold and speak up.
And you know what? That's because what they also you need to know that she's also an author. And if I recall, yes, she's
Yes.
also an author. And she talks about daring to be a diamond. And
Mhm.
in there, I believe some anxiety, especially when we're talking about children, some
Yes.
anxiety even is brought on from childhood trauma.
Yes.
Them not knowing it, right? Them not knowing it, but then it shows up, as you just said, in a classroom. Uh,
Yes.
whether that trauma then moves through the different stages and how they move about. Can you talk to just even give them a tidbit, even from just that part of that story with you, with even what even led you to doing Dare to be a Diamond, talking about anxiety, right, as a youth?
Yes. So, in my childhood, I experienced abuse in several forms. So, you had your mental abuse of being told you were this, being called names, always in fear of getting in trouble for the least little thing. And then I had the sexual abuse, where, there was always some type of encounter happening because different people were coming in and out of our lives. And I was a child having these experiences. So then I had the physical abuse of being, whipped and beat with things that are not normal. So a lot of that created fear within me personally. And to the point that I didn't realize, but as an adult, this grew up in me and I could not even sleep through the night properly. It affected my sleep patterns.
Mm,
So the least little sound, I would jump. The least little movement, I would be awakened from my sleep because I'm in fear. I have this anxiety of, okay, I got to be ready to run, and I didn't realize it until my husband actually brought it to my attention. I'm like in my 40s now,
mm,
and he
mm.
was saying, now I sleep through the night. I'm comfortable because I feel safe. But when we first got together, he said, you would just jump in your sleep and, you're in the bed with all these clothes on and, subconsciously.
Right, because I was about to say, wait a minute, you said this is now at the beginning of your marriage.
Yes,
You've gone through college, you've done all these things, still not putting a name on it. These
right.
are the things that was uh, you were living with and
Yes,
didn't have a title, because what it is, we have to remember that is why it is important for you to know who you are, not just whose we are, right? We are definitely women of faith and understand the power of God and what he can do in and for our lives. But you really have to get in tune with you so that you can listen to you, and so that you can, through self-discovery, be able to put a name on what it really is, right? Put a
yes,
name on it. And we just talked about her talking about the book of Dare to be a Diamond. So make sure you go over there and get it Amazon. But in that, she said some of this, she realized it even went back to childhood, right? So you're anxious. We're not anxious, because there is a difference, and we're going to talk about that too. With anxiety, you have this not calling it that, and
mhm,
then you're living your life. You're now married, and
yeah,
it's showing up, and your spouse is like, "Hey, wait, babe, you good?
mhm,
You're good." And then it makes you then to have to take a picture, look at yourself, like, "Wait, what's going on with me?" Be able to. I'm saying this to say this. Be able to look at it and give it a name, so you know how to address it, so you know
yes,
how to seek the right help for what it is. This is time out for sweeping certain things and feelings and emotions under the rug. We another talk for another day about emotions, because we know our emotions even come to serve us. But today
yes,
we're talking about anxiety. But she
mhm,
was already married, and then it showed up again to where she had to really do some deeper diving to then find out and learn more to really tune in what that is. Go ahead.
mhm.
Well, yeah,
And
continue.
it begins to shape your behavior. So
Yeah.
because you grew up with this fear, it leads into other types of fears, and you have these other reservations. So subconsciously, I didn't know, I'm sleeping in my clothes because, I won't say, like street clothes, but a lot of clothing. So like if something happens, I can just put my shoes on and run because that was the environment that I lived in. Like
Mhm.
always be ready. So that's one example of it being in my childhood. And then everything, you worry about everything. So you worry about whatever uncomfortable feeling that you don't want to experience. So how can I prepare myself not to have that experience? When you think about anxiety, I mean, it's so broad, but there are 5 different types of anxiety disorders that I want to share with you. And one of them is the generalized anxiety disorder, meaning it's
Mhm.
chronic anxiety. This is something you've been living with, but it's your exaggerated ability to worry, and it causes tension. So you may have, headaches, you may have tight muscles, and you have this disorder, this anxiety, even when small things happen. So the
Mhm.
small things become bigger than they're supposed to. And that's when you have that spouse that's like, just take a breath. It's okay. We got this. There's no need to worry. um,
Breathe, breathe.
breathe, right?
Yeah.
Because you have taken this small issue and magnified it, because you, as a woman, right, you looked at every possible thing that could go wrong, right? If I don't do this, this is going to happen. If I'm not prepared here, that's who we are. So that's the generalized anxiety disorder. And many of us carry it, again, without understanding it has a label, it has a name to it. The second one is obsessive compulsive disorder.
That's a big.
That is that OCD behavior, where you have these unwanted thoughts, these obsessions, repetitive behaviors.
And so wait a minute. Wait, Tiffany, Lady
Uh-huh.
Tiffany. You're telling me I don't even think people realize that OCD can be related to anxiety.
Yes.
That's
Hmm.
big right there, because
Yeah.
everybody often talk about know somebody or probably is a person that's OCD,
Hmm.
and it's kind of like it make you think like, wait, is it attributed to in some way anxiety?
Yeah. And I want you to hear this though. These repetitive behaviors, we really don't take we don't think about it in this manner. But is this simple? Constantly washing your hands, it's not clean
Mm.
enough. Constantly cleaning your house because it's not clean enough. Constantly checking or counting. How about this one? Counting. And when I looked at that, I was like, OMG, are they knocking on my door or what? I had this thing internally where I would just count things. Like it could be spots on the wall. I'm telling you,
Mm.
it had to be an even number. My counting had to end in an even number. And if
Mm.
it didn't, I would find something else to add to the count to make it even. So this is how simplistic, this OCD could be,
Mhm.
to you just constantly being obsessed with your thoughts. Your thoughts are also a power mechanism where it controls your behavior, and you're trying to make them go away, and they're constantly coming. Or you're creating um, this thing that you do every day because, again, this fear of what could happen, right?
Yeah.
Is a
Yeah.
fear of what could happen. I remember, and you probably laugh at me, I don't know, but I'm just sharing. Like, I want to be as open as possible because we're going to help
Please,
someone.
please.
But I remember back in the day in the 90s when, you know, certain diseases were prevalent, right? And
Mhm.
they just kept telling you how to protect yourself from this disease and what
Mhm.
not to do. And I started looking at people and like, okay, I wonder if they have it. I wonder if this one has it. You just,
Wow, really? Really?
yes, in your mind. And, now we're in COVID-19, right? So the
Mhm.
person that
Mhm.
has this anxiety disorder could very well be like, okay, I need to have my double mask. I need to make sure,
And
I
we
take
we
off
we
all my
yeah,
clothes before I walk in my home,
we've seen these people.
because I'm afraid I don't want to bring anything into my home. This is getting out of hand. The numbers are going up. And I mean, the news makes it even bigger. So if you don't have that person with you to ground you, to
Yeah.
help you see that, okay, this is not your reality and you need to calm down and it's going to be okay, you can really take this to a whole nother level. So Tiffany, thank you. She says, thank you for your transparency. Yes, you have to, in order for people to be healed and to understand what they may be experiencing, we have to be transparent with our stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just being real. Like, it's okay to be glitz and glammed and look like you got it all together, but people cannot heal if they don't know what else may be going on that they are having an experience too. So when they hear your story, you know, they say we overcome by our testimonies. This is why we share,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
is a mechanism, a tool to help others overcome. Now, the third type of anxiety disorder is the panic disorder. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So you hear people say, oh, I'm having a panic attack. That is real. And I had one of those in my 40s, right? And it was because of, you know, stress, a stressful situation
Mhm.
in corporate that I could not handle. And it took me to a point where my physical body began to experience
Mhm.
the effects of it. You gotta move out the camera. My physical body began to experience the effects of it. And let me share with you what that felt like. So I told
Okay.
you I would talk
Yeah,
about
right now we're talking, this is women, and then especially women in leadership in some form, even if you're just leading yourself. Listen at what she's saying. This is even at the stage and the age that she is now, having experienced this, being very transparent about this experience. Go ahead. Yes, do share.
So this panic disorder is characterized by unexpected and repeated episodes of intense fear. Okay, so that's one thing. But what happens is it is accompanied with physical symptoms.
Mm,
Now, those physical symptoms can be chest pain,
yeah.
heart palpitation, shortness of breath, dizziness, and abdominal distress. So, you know, you get that queasy feeling in your stomach and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I got these butterflies. Okay,
Yeah.
that's that anxiety that's flaring up. But I had this experience where I was in this, you know, altercation, verbal altercation with an individual, and they took me someplace where I began to experience the heart palpitations. My
Mhm.
heart started racing so fast and hard, like I could feel it. I
Yeah.
was nervous. I could feel myself shaking.
Mhm.
I could not breathe. I literally could not catch my breath. And I was like, what in the world is
Yeah.
this? And when I went to seek medical attention, you know, they did the EKG and all that,
Mhm. Mhm.
went to talk to someone, and they shared with me this was an anxiety attack. Like, you had a panic attack.
Right.
And because it was a part of my personality that had been suppressed for so long, or not even identified as anxiety,
Mhm.
I didn't know what it was.
Now, how did you feel when they gave you that as the diagnosis? Like, do you recall at that moment they saying this is a case of anxiety?
So I had to process the information. Like,
Mhm.
okay, let me look into this some more. And what I began to learn is this was a part of me in my early childhood,
Mhm.
but it had been controlled or suppressed or overlooked. I remember certain times I would just get this feeling over me that something's going to happen. And I didn't know why I had the feeling. It was like a premonition of some sort.
Mhm.
And when I received the diagnosis, I'm thinking, you know what? Wow, that might have been my anxiety flaring up about a thought that I may have had at that moment. And it just gave me this fear, this feeling. Um, and I would just, you know, ignore it. Right. And that's one of the other things I'm going to talk about, you know, why ignoring is not what you should be doing, because the goal is to overcome.
Right. We have to be able to call it what it is. And
Right.
in order to fix it, we have got to face what it is. And
Yes.
stop actually even labeling it something else so that you believe that you don't have to deal with it.
Right.
Right. Like look at it, acknowledge it,
Mhm.
acknowledge that this is real, this is happening, it is about you. So yeah, just be okay, whoever you are, wherever you are, to just call it what it is.
Yes.
Acknowledge that it is, and then work towards doing something about it because you matter that much. Go ahead, continue.
So the other type of anxiety is the post-traumatic stress disorder, which you mentioned earlier. Something that happened to you, whether it was in your childhood, whether you were in the military, a traumatic event, and this is the residue of what's left.
Yeah.
Right? So you had this terrifying event. Uh, it might have caused physical harm to you. It made you feel threatened. And then there's triggers that
Mhm.
come later on that remind you of that incident.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, there are things that happen where you're like, man, that feeling takes me somewhere.
Mhm.
And again, it could be something from your past. It could be something that was just so traumatic that you haven't really gotten over it.
Yeah.
Um, so a lot of people in the military experience that post-traumatic stress disorder, or children who have been abused. That was my category. And as an adult, you're coping to go through that. And again, you don't put a label on it. You don't even think about it.
Right. Right. Because you know what? Culturally, generationally, they just it's just they we didn't talk about it. We don't talk about it, and that's why we do. We have to ring the bell. We have to make the noise. We have to get the word out that these things are real. They are happening, but there is hope. There is help available with them happening. This is real, and
Yeah.
not to mention just what's happening in the world. We're not even talking about what's happening within your home or in your childhood. Just the world, just your comings and goings, and these things are happening to just be more in tune to you, so that you can recognize when this is actually really what's going on with you, but don't really know even what to call it. But you
Right.
are experiencing it. Yeah.
Exactly. And then the final type of anxiety is social phobia
Mm,
or social anxiety disorder. These are individuals who are overwhelmed and they're self conscious about everyday situations. Their social phobia could be speaking in public,
yeah.
eating or drinking in front of someone. And when I saw that, I just had to
Mm,
laugh. I remember being that child afraid to eat in front of other people.
mm,
Um, and when you really start digging deep into um, things that you experience, you learn. You begin to uncover what you didn't know and learn more about yourself. Um, so social phobias, now you hear kids, because they're on social media all the time, they don't know how to interact with people in
yeah.
person. It's changing the dynamics of how we cohabitate with people, how we interact and interconnect with others. Um, so there is a such thing as a social phobia, not wanting to be around people. I am familiar with someone who is afraid to put on events. Nobody knows it,
Wow.
but there's that fear of, will people show up?
Yeah.
Will everything be in order? So they think so hard and they decide they're not even going to do it because it was too much that they had to process in their mind to put on an event.
Yeah.
Granted, they're well and able to do it. People look at them and say, "Wow, you have this fear or this anxiety about it. You are amazing." And I think about the Michael Jacksons of the world. How they're big on stage, but they have this social phobia, right? And it's like an oxymoron. Really? Is
Yeah.
that how can that be? Your personality is so big, you're such a performer, but then there's this part of them that prefers to be by themselves, really do not socialize with a large group of people
Mhm.
unless it's time for them to perform or be on that stage. So it's real, and it happens in people's walk of life every day.
Yeah, you know what? I call myself like an extra introvert. I don't mind being around, look, big groups of people, but I'm definitely okay by myself. Even prior to the pandemic, I'm actually okay. I'm at a stage with I'm all right being alone with me. A matter of fact, people need to even check to see if they are a person who, if that is you, because I know there are some, even introverts and extroverts, but that's what I said. I'm an extra introvert because I'm okay either way, right? And I don't always want to be around other, a large group of people. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, I really, really, especially at this stage, try to be tuned in to what's going on with me and understanding even the importance of being present in the day that you're in, being present in the moment that you're in, so that if something happens that could possibly trigger you, as you was talking about the trigger,
Yes.
because you're already present with who you are, you can kind of feel it because our bodies, not only our minds, our bodies gives us signs, right? Our bodies is giving us these signs, and we have to be okay to pay attention to say, hey, it's kind of like that gut when they be saying what, follow your gut. Sometimes it's actually telling you it's things that are sending off these alerts internally, and we're ignoring them, right? And so we have to be better. So matter of fact, that's a great segue into give us some signs and ways to even uh, to alleviate or lower when anxiety is come up over us. What?
So
Yeah.
let me talk about that. The signs that you need to look for, that would show you, okay, I think, my anxiety is kicking in. Stomach problems, ongoing nausea, inability to eat much. You know how you get
Mhm.
so nervous you can't eat? Like,
Yeah.
I just can't eat. You might have pains in your stomach when you're, that person that has that phobia of being on stage, they may have those butterfly feelings and
Mhm.
the pain in the stomach because it's time for showtime, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the symptoms. Your heart rate's increasing during stressful situations. So being able to, breathe and try to control that. These are triggers. And then feelings of tiredness, being lethargic or weak, feeling, just weak, not wanting to confront or face the fear. Nervousness or being on the edge, having that sense of, oh, danger is near and there's panic. So you feel yourself panicking. Um, you're breathing heavily. You may sweat. You have the sweaty palms. Your body might start perspiring. These are all signs that you're being triggered. Difficulty concentrating, trouble sleeping. Okay.
Yeah.
And then signs that you're actually having an attack would be um, excess worrying. So it's going to lead to an attack. Restlessness, there's sadness, again, that change in the heart rate, and then tension in the head. So those headaches that come because you're stressed,
Yeah.
that's real. And you usually feel it in this area because those are your tension headaches. You may have nausea, dry mouth. So there are a lot of symptoms and signs for you to recognize that your triggers, that you're about to trigger a panic
Mhm.
attack. Trembling, difficulty breathing, and you're just nervous. You have the shakes and can't control it.
Yeah.
um,
And the thing is, because that's why we have to acknowledge it. We have to speak up about it, even say it to yourself. Is this what's happening to me? We have to be okay to start asking ourselves some of those questions, those important questions to help us be better, right? We already know, for those or anybody that's jumping on, if you have not seen it right now, I have the privilege of having this important discussion about anxiety with Lady Tiffany Anisette Pringle, who definitely is a woman of wealth, a woman of worth, and know who's not only who she is, but who she is, and being very transparent about something that she has experienced, and now get the opportunity to help others understand it even better, because she knows what it feels like to have walked in that space. So therefore, she just took us through five types of anxiety, and now we're just getting some ways to alleviate that, as well as to just even know when the signs are coming up on you, because there are different things that are triggering. And so when it happens, you do need to ask yourself some questions about what is happening, get to the root of what it is, so that it may even help you calm down even faster. Of course, we already know you need to breathe. We have got to breathe.
Yes.
This will help you in anything that is going on. Remember to breathe. One of the things I have to say is the smartwatch. I have a smartwatch, right? And it's amazing to me how many times throughout the day that it is reminding me to breathe. Because really, and I don't believe that I even paid it any attention. But it's telling me like time to breathe. Because I guess unknowingly I hold my breath.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that's about. Maybe that's another live for another day, right? But I really do. I hold my breath, and it's like, what are you waiting for? I don't know. Sometimes it could be on the verge of being the things that could lead to me building up some form of anxiety with doing certain things, because it takes you to be okay to even step out. Like, for example, let's just be real, ladies, or whoever is watching, even doing something like coming on here, being in the public. I know we're not in a room of people, but there are people who are listening, there are people who are watching, and that in itself can bring on a form of anxiety. You could be looking around saying, how is the lighting? Can they see me? Can they hear me? I don't want to say the wrong thing. So all of these things, even with you today and us coming on here and preparing to have this conversation, could then start this whole spin, and where you're not able to function.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just have to be in tune, understanding the importance of who you are, and being okay with getting the self-care that you need and need to make it part of your lifestyle.
Yes.
Self first, and part of the solution is making it a part of your lifestyle, because it should not be a temporary fix to something that should be a part of your lifestyle. I cannot stress it enough. That is why I advocate for it, because we would all be so much better. We would all rise up and shine and be, as you are, a woman that understands not only the importance of multiple streams, but able to operate in those streams.
Yes. Yes.
Because we're women of faith and understand that God has a purpose and a plan, and we're a part of it.
Yes.
We are a part of this we are part of the plan. There's things that you do, that I do, that you listening, that you need, the world needs, and you need to be okay to recognize that, to say, how can I help me? Let me get underneath this. Is this anxiety? And is this something that when I do feel that gut reaction, do I need to just like go through this whole process of, hey, not even a shameless plug, the 5 W's. What is this about? Is it who? Is it me, or is it the other person?
Right.
When should I, even if you're a person that needs to seek professional help to get medication to help you even manage it, when should you do that? Mm-hmm. How should you do that? You need to be okay to ask yourself these questions.
Yes.
It's about you.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, when you stand in that full glass mirror having this talk with self, right? Understanding your self-worth, but okay to move to action to do your self-work.
Mm-hmm.
You matter that much. How about that? How
Yes.
about that? You guys, you all know that I do. I cheer for you, but I challenge you to do what is necessary for you to be your best self.
Mm-hmm.
Starting today. It's like today, we're supposed to be intentional, right? He gives us 24 hours in a day, whatever that equates to in minutes. But what are we doing with that day? Are we so weighted down with being experiencing anxiety that we cannot really live? We're just existing. Is that what this is? So we need to learn how to look at it, call it what it is, get the help that we need, have the conversations, even starting with self first, right? Yeah. Lady Tiffany, as we because for those of you who don't know, we're actually even going to go take this same conversation to Clubhouse shortly. Whatever questions you may have, please put them in the comments right now. Even if you're watching this on hashtag replay, put your comments because we will be looking. She will still be responding to your request. I'm going to make sure that you have her link, or we're going to make sure that that link is in the comments so that you can still stay connected with her. Follow her on all social medias, even on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a big platform. I know we're right here in this space, but that's a way for us to still stay connected and do what we need to do to get the help that we need. And some of the help that we need is truly within arm's reach, right? Some help is truly within a phone call away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
What would you
Definitely.
like? Yes. Yes.
And I commend those of you that have joined us and you've shared in the comment section that you too can relate, that you too have had an experience. One of the young ladies stated, I do have OCD and I have experienced trauma in my childhood. And a lot of times, I mean, that's where we're formed, that's where we're nurtured. And that is a part of us, and it grows up in us as an adult. And we have to seek help to be able to control and overcome those emotions. And understanding who you are, your personality type. Tiffany stated, I'm a people person when I'm in front. However, I prefer being alone. That sounds like me. I can be a people person all day long, but I probably won't pick up the phone and call a lot of people during the week. I'm there. Look at you. I'm there, in the moment. I'm interacting, I'm socializing, but when it's over, I'm back in my space, my personal space, and I am, grinding. I'm in my own world, my own circle. So you have to understand your personality. Okay. That comes with it. One of the other things I want to share is other common triggers that you could be mindful of. Being upset about stressful health situations, such as chronic illnesses, letting it get the best of you. Certain medications can become a trigger, or like birth control or syrup, which I thought was pretty interesting. Negative thinking, we fight our thoughts every day to maintain positivity in our world, in our mind. And it starts in the mind. Especially when you're upset and frustrated, man, negative thoughts are racing. You have all kinds of thoughts sometimes, and you have to, speak positivity and allow those positive thoughts to supersede those negative thoughts. Another trigger could be worries about personal finances, job security, unexpected bills. Okay. Uh, so you have to understand what triggers you to have anxiety. Another is conflict in relationships or in the workplace. So my conflict took place in the workplace. Stress related behaviors, and even people that are obsessive when it comes to drug abuse and alcoholism. Those are other triggers that can create a panic attack. How about this one? a place or song that reminds you of a traumatic event.
That's major.
Hmm.
That's big. That's big. Yeah.
You think about, I had someone share with me, they were being molested at an early age,
Mm.
and she remembers being 7 years old and hearing the baseball game play,
Mm.
because that's when her attacker would
Mm-hmm.
attack her.
Mm.
And she said to this day, she can't stand the sound of baseball
Wow.
because it reminds her, it is a trigger that takes her back to
Mm.
that experience. So even a place, a song, a theme, whatever was happening, it could be a smell, the cologne of an individual that was the perpetrator.
Yes.
Um, those could be triggers. So Vivian says OCD can be like a safe space because it's a sense of control. A false sense of control. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, when going through trauma and you have no control, sometimes that's all you have. Understandable.
Yes.
So you create this behavior of, well, I can control this. So this is what, I'm in control here. This is my space and I'm going to make it be what I desire.
Mhm.
I can't control anything outside of me.
Yeah.
And this is all facts. We live like this daily. What we can control, we do, and what we can't, sometimes we just have to relinquish that power, because we can't control other people. We can't control unforeseen things happening.
Mhm.
And, we revert to certain behaviors for to help you cope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you talk about coping and healing, one of the things I would like to share with you is get a journal
Yes.
and start writing down when your anxiety is occurring, what was happening, what triggered it, what emotion were you feeling, what physical symptoms were you experiencing. Because when you can record the events, you can understand more about what caused it and how you can cope with it. Um, Also, get a therapist. In our community of melanated people, we don't seek help for mental stability. We believe that it doesn't even exist. It's all in your mind. But
Mhm.
sometimes you do have to seek out help from professionals that understand more of that issue, that experience, that disorder that you may be having. Um, Anxiety disorders are treated with counseling, even medication, or a combination of both to help you have that equilibrium balance. So, find something that you enjoy to help relax. So, you talked about breathing earlier.
Yes.
Meditation is good,
Very good.
going into prayer in your own way, and then try yoga, something that's going to help you bring balance to your whole body, your whole mind, so you can create the serenity that you need, that peace that you need. And when you're able to identify your triggers, I would say this: do everything in your power to stay away from what cause your triggers. Okay. If it's people that is going to take you there, sometimes you got to change your circle.
Yes.
And that could be family. That could be the closest family member. Um, Vivian says art is therapy. Yes. Find that one thing that helps you, breathe, reflect, be able to meditate, help you go within. So if it's art, do more art.
But you know what I have to, because Vivian is definitely therapy for her, but I do have to say in her own right, she's definitely a talented artist. So you really might even want to check her out, because um, it's not like watercolor. She is an artist.
Wow.
She really, really is. I have a piece of hers actually in my den right now.
I
Um,
would
so
say,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I see you and I hear you. You know that. Yeah. I just want people to pass that by. They do need to know that she actually owns her craft, though.
Awesome.
She has actually made that work for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes that work for her. And through that, it's another form of even self-discovery because how we can use these things to really help us and build our testimony, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
This is we do have a first lady in our midst, right? She's definitely a powerhouse in the word. So she understands even that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's serious. This is serious. This is even a matter of life and death.
Yes.
This could take you out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Something that could take you out.
Heart attacks. You know, there are people who've had heart attacks just because they're worried. They worried so much, and it was too much for the heart. They suffered in silence.
Yeah.
And that's why, we talked about this segment and we talked about no longer suffering in silence. When you have those triggers, when you understand what's going on with your body mentally and physically, because the mental state began to affect your physical state.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you seek help because, women are the number one cause for heart attacks is stress on women, and they have those heart attacks without the signs and symptoms. It just happens. So be aware of what your body is telling you, be aware of what your mental capacity, your mental state is saying to you, and seek the help or find the activities that you need to help you cope. And you talked about scriptures for anxiety. One, I would say, peace be still, right? Having my peace and creating that environment that is conducive to having peace is very important. It is important that we recognize we can have a peaceful life,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have to be full of stress. So you want to search the scriptures for the word that will give you comfort. And find your comfort there. You may just open up the word and he sends you to Psalms 23 and say, the Lord is my shepherd, right? I shall not want, I shall not be afraid, I shall not fear, because he is in control. And, I encourage the youth in our church to memorize this scripture of 23rd Psalms because it has the ability to work in all areas of your life. And I think the fear and anxiety, this is a perfect scripture for that. So Vivian says, women are the center and we take on a lot. We do. We need that peace in our lives. Yes, we do need that peace. And when you pray, ask God to give you peace, give you understanding of, what is happening and how can I have more peace in this area. God, I know you're going to fix this on my behalf. The word also say cast your cares upon him. So I'm going to cast my worry on you. I'm going to give you my anxiety because I know you're going to walk me through this. And a lot of times, fear is worry that, it may not even happen.
Right. That's the big part. And sometimes you bring on, you get anxious about something that it's not even real.
Yes. It may not even come to pass.
It may not even come to pass.
But we worry.
And we've done it. I've done it. And we really, that's why, again, about being mindful, being present in the day, asking certain questions when you feel this coming on, when you feel it coming on, have that, know what that is, know what that feels like, to be tuned in and tapped in more to you, to say, whoa, 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 whoa. I know what this feels like. I've been here before, right? Like right now, if you were to God forbid, have something to come over you, you already know what that starts to feel like in your body, so you can address it, right? Am I right?
Yes, yes. And you may take that walk and just talk to God. Take that walk and just meditate. I've been walking every day for the past, 30 days now, and doing a 2-mile walk every day. Yay! So this year I said, okay, I want to be in better health. I want to be at peace in my mind. And this walk helps me speak it out, like have this conversation intimately with God, one-on-one. And I'm just talking and I'm just stating, and I am living a peaceful life. I am in solace. I am living the life I desire. I am okay with everything around me. I am more than a conqueror, right? No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Every tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned. Like, I'm walking this out. I'm speaking his word as I am exercising, right? I'm not only exercising my body, but I'm exercising my mind. I'm exercising my prayer life, because it's all happening simultaneously. So again, find that thing that's going to help you go within. When I go on my walks, it brings more creativity to me. Like, I can create, I can be more innovative, I can think clearly. You're looking at the sky and the trees and enjoying the nature, and it's just a beautiful experience. So find what you need to incorporate into your lifestyle. As you said earlier, it's a lifestyle change.
Yes.
And that one lifestyle change can change a number of things you may be experiencing in your life that you want changed. And you have the power to do that. You have the power to make those changes, and to make those changes permanently.
Yeah. I'm excited that we have paused for an important cause, because this is important. It's a lot going on in the world. It's a lot going on, even, in our personal lives. Remember, again, I can't say it enough. It is about you, because at the end of the day, you cannot be of service to others, but that service has to start with you first. We're excited again, and I appreciate you so much, First Lady Tiffany Anisette Pringle, for stopping by and allowing us to have this candid conversation about anxiety. Because us being women in leadership, this is things that need to be addressed, and we need to be okay to start speaking up, to know that we no longer have to suffer in silence. So if you're looking at this, you're listening to this, you are not alone. You do not have to suffer in silence. There is help. There is people that care about you. If you're looking at this on the replay, again, make sure that you stay connected, get connected with First Lady Tiffany Anisette Pringle. Again, she is a bag designer. She's an author. She's a teacher. She's a proclaimer of God's word. There are so many wonderful layers and levels to her. That's a whole nother live for another day, if we were just to even talk about her, right? Not even just this topic, but I'm excited that I get to even be in her company, because I definitely learn a lot. I'm a life learner, and I'm grateful that she is one of the people that I get to learn from. Again, we thank you. Make sure we're going to make sure that website is there. So make sure you drop your links in there, Lady Tiffany. That, because she really is. She's doing a lot, and she has her own patent on her own bag. Let me just put that out there.
You want to see a bag? You want to see a bag? How about that?
Show a bag. Show a bag. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one of my bags on wheels. Yes. Got your handle here. So lots of variation. I have the bags on wheels, and then I have just your regular handbags. So here's another one. This one is croc material. It's a leather. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful.
I will make sure, Vivian, that you have all of her websites. Yeah, for the bags, the whole kit. Matter of fact, go right in there right now. Type your website in the comments, because then it'll just pop up.
Okay.
Yeah, we thank you guys for tuning in and joining us today. Again, if you have even more questions, please, ma'am, please, sir, put them in the comments. You will see her again. I'm excited that she has been able to be a part of Self-Care Saturday, because it is important to me, and making sure that we provide value and give you the things and the services that you need to help you be a better you. Also, again, we are, as we get ready to end this particular segment, we will be taking this conversation over onto Clubhouse. So not on there, get on there. And if you got unfortunately, it is for right now, currently only right now for iPhone users. And if you have an iPad, so if you know me, like inbox me. I may have an invite because it's just a lot going on over there. And we just want to make sure we're sharing the conversation so that people get the help that they need, because it matters that much. And I get to do this. This is something that I love. And I thank you for allowing me to be a part of your day, being a part of your life. Because then it wouldn't matter anything else that I do if I don't have you guys, right? I'm a better me because I have you. You're a part of me. I love you. I need you. And it's about us going, lifting as we climb, right? We lift as we climb, we grow, we can grow together, right? And we can be together. We can be better together. So again, Lady Tiffany, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Is there anything you want to say to them as we get ready to get up out of here?
Well, thank you all for joining the conversation. I do hope that there was something you were able to pull from this conversation for your own life. If you are interested in connecting with me, my website is tiffanyAnisette.com. There you can learn more about my coaching programs as well as the handbag line. We also do corporate training. So I come into organizations and teach subjects like this and many others. So if you are looking for a trainer to come to your organization, our company Inspire can do that. But everything is at tiffanyAnisette.com. We do one-on-one coaching, not only for life, but for business. And Vivian, I do not have any more little girl purses. I may have something that's appropriate. Let me know how old your daughter is or your niece or whomever you're trying to get this for. And I'll send you a picture. Maybe it'll be a good fit. Thank you all for joining us today. And we look forward to continuing this conversation at Clubhouse.
Yes. You guys make it a great Saturday. It is about you. Where is that? Come on. No.
You got your poems.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.